Script: How to Silence Racing Thoughts, a Spiritual Strategy for Peace. Opening hook: Why do thoughts get louder the moment everything else gets quiet? Late at night, when the lights are off, the mind begins to race, regret, anxiety, conversations replaying, questions with no answers. In this message, Pastor G. Craig Lewis of EX Ministries offers a framework for understanding and overcoming intrusive thoughts, especially the kind that steal peace and interrupt rest. Section 1. Understanding the Battle. Lewis teaches that racing thoughts are not always random. In his view, they can be part of a deeper spiritual struggle, designed to create anxiety, distraction, and exhaustion. Instead of dismissing these thoughts as harmless, he encourages believers to recognize their impact. Because what dominates the mind eventually shapes behavior, emotions, and direction. The goal, then, is not just to cope with thoughts, but to take control of them. Section 2. Speak the word out loud. One of the primary techniques Lewis emphasizes is speaking scripture out loud. Rather than allowing thoughts to circulate internally, he encourages an active response. By verbalizing truth, the internal dialogue begins to shift. The noise of anxious or intrusive thoughts is interrupted. This practice reflects the biblical idea of anchoring the mind in truth through Jesus Christ. Instead of silently battling thoughts, the believer engages them directly. Section 3. Cleaning the mind. Lewis compares the mind to a storage system. Over time, unnecessary thoughts, negative experiences, and unresolved emotions begin to accumulate. If left unchecked, they create mental clutter. This clutter makes it easier for intrusive thoughts to take hold. The solution, according to the message, is intentional clearing. Letting go of thoughts that no longer serve a purpose. Refusing to replay harmful memories, and creating space for clarity and peace. Section 4. The Role of Technology. Another practical point in the message focuses on the impact of technology. Lewis highlights how screens, phones, televisions, and tablets emit blue light that stimulates the brain. Late-night exposure to these devices can interfere with the body's ability to relax and enter deep sleep. The recommendation is simple: reduce screen time before bed. Create an environment that allows the mind to slow down rather than stay stimulated, because sometimes the battle for peace begins with simple habits. Section 5. Forgiveness and Prayer. A deeper cause of persistent thoughts, Lewis explains, is unresolved conflict. Unforgiveness can keep the mind locked in cycles of replaying past events, arguments, hurt, betrayal. The message offers a solution that may feel counterintuitive. Pray for the person who caused the pain. This act, according to Lewis, begins to break the emotional hold that the situation has on the mind. Forgiveness becomes not just a spiritual act, but a mental release. Section 6. Communication over assumption. Finally, Lewis addresses the role of miscommunication. Many intrusive thoughts are fueled by assumptions, imagining what others think, feel, or intend. Instead of allowing those assumptions to grow, he encourages direct communication. Talking openly to resolve misunderstandings. This reduces mental speculation and replaces it with clarity, because often, the thoughts that disturb peace are built on incomplete information. Closing reflection. Racing thoughts can feel overwhelming, but this message presents a different perspective. That peace is not found by ignoring the mind, but by actively guiding it through truth, through discipline, through intentional choices. Because when the mind is aligned, rest becomes possible, and in the quiet, peace can finally take its place.